Hi everybody, my name is Nathan and I'm here for another walkthrough in one of my newest builds. This time a high elven mansion. As we don't have structural assets that are properly high elven, everything is very blood elf, very red, and most of them you cannot change the color of it. They wanted to build a house that was very alliance high elven, and what I did was mixing architecture, human architecture, and then decoration from, what it would be high elven decoration. So let's start the tour. So as I mentioned, this is the entrance, and here you can see the idea that this maybe was a very old human house, mansion, or even, I don't know, a tavern or something. Then this was bought by a high elf and it was decorated by a high elf. So you're gonna see a lot of wallpapers, blue and gold wallpapers, and decorated pillars that used to be a fireplace. But then we changed that. And I wasn't very sure how to make the lights work here, so I decided to make them floating like this to give it a little movement and also this mage fantasy idea. So this is the entrance of the house. You can see a little bit of Illyria right there, just because maybe, I'm not actually a high elf, but we'll talk about this later. And then I'm gonna start the tour on the right side of the house, on the right wing, where you have the dining room and the kitchen. So let's start with the dining room. I also played with the floating lights here a little bit, in more wallpaper, more elven architecture and decorations here. I created this coffee place here where there's everything from the Grummel's endeavor, and then if you come here you can see the kitchen. I really like building kitchens in Warcraft because there isn't a lot of things that is very kitchen-y, so you really have to push yourself to create things, right? So starting from here, I have like this place where we prepare things. There's a sink in here where we keep the tablecloth, cups, more fancy cups. So this is where we keep things for dining. Here's where we prepare stuff. Here's the stove per se, with a exhauster, because you don't want all that smoke going into your fancy stuff. And a lot of storage, because I really like the way it gives this idea of a functioning kitchen. I even put some food here being grilled, and I did build a working fridge. So I went ahead and I used that broker cage thing to give this idea of something that it was frosty and cold. And then I used the Pandaren net for the shelf, and I created, the idea of a working freezer with some gnomish things here and some tubes there. And here you have an old pantry to keep things, in room temperature. So you have coffee there, honey, some bread, and here you have spices and grains. So a big pantry for lavish parties. Here on the other side of the dining room, there's a small hallway that gives access to the bathroom. So this is the entrance of the bathroom. And bathrooms are another thing that I really like creating because push your creativity. So here you have a sink full of cosmetics and cloth, maybe towels, like face towels. And I promise this is soap. Okay, you can wash your hands with it. And then some more beauty products here. And here you have the toilet properly installed. In more storage place, you can use the I have to fix that, but you can use this. And a shower. I really wanted to build a shower instead of just a bathtub, or instead of just putting a bathtub. So I got the fountain from Nighthold, and let me show you how I did this. Let me break the fourth wall here. I scaled it to the maximum size, and then I used just one part of it where the water was dropping to create the shower. And then I put some more products here, some washcloth, and an on and off for the shower. So there you go. That's where you can get all clean. So here's the exterior. So you walk out from the dining room and the kitchen. You have these big doors here that I built that are supposed to be like an outside door, so they're big and heavy. And then I created this entrance here. I wanted to make like the illusion of the house around it, but I didn't have enough budget when I got to this point. And here's like a garden with a jacuzzi. So you walk up here. Yes, I can't. Let me change. Excuse me. No, swim. So I have my swim outfit. Now I can sit down in the water. Nice. And there's a lot of places you can sit here. You can sit there. You can sit here. You can... Where is it? Okay, there's more here. There you go. And more here. So there's a lot of places you can sit enjoying the view and enjoy, the space. Here's a chill, nice space where you can relax and read a little bit more, because mages like to read and eat and drink some imported drinks, probably from Zuldazar. On the other side of the entrance room, you have the bedroom. And in one of my videos here in the channel, I talk about isolating spaces, removing negative space. And this was challenging for me here because I wanted a nice, cozy bedroom, but I couldn't find the proper room for that. All the rooms, they were either too large or too small. So let me show you how I did this. So I put the small room, which there's nothing small about it. It's actually really big. And then I started removing like spaces with regular walls. So there was too much space here. This shouldn't be here. So I started removing negative space to keep it more cozy and realistic, because I don't like entering rooms that are too big, full of empty spaces. And then you have to spend a lot of the budget to put decoration in corners or things like that. So I'd rather just isolate the negative space and keep it cozy. And then I had to scale this bed because I think the original size is too small. So here we are. We have a mage high elven bedroom. So it's very what I wanted. There's a vanity here, mirrors and places to change. Here we are in the library entrance. I built this place thinking initially as maybe this was a cathedral, maybe this was something very Stormwind human, and then decorated it and changed it and mixed it as an elf would be decorating it. So at the bottom floor here you have the entrance and a nice space for studying it. A lot of books. If you go up, there's the roof ceiling structure there, and Tears Guard banners everywhere. And here's a place that I like to keep all the unique books. So all the unique books that I get from questing or buying it or buying from those NPCs, I put them here. Some artifacts as well. So it's like a private collection of more special books. I keep them all here, books and artifacts. If you come up here, let me walk up the stairs. You see that the floating lights, they keep going up until the roof. There you go. They spiral up. There's a huge crystal there because why not? To this side, there's some Pandaren artifacts, and I'm learning to speak Pandaren. So this is my study nook, and here a nice relaxing place for it to sit down and read books. And then I did something more, because there's more to study than just the arcane, and people can frown upon it. So I had to take a step forward and take it to the next level in terms of places to study. So if you see many of these bookshelves, one of them might not be just a bookshelf. And then if you enter here, I experimented with some, portals. Might not be very successful the first time. I did break some things, but it worked. So if you pass through it, you enter to my laboratory where I study very nice, interesting things. So you can see some stuff I brought from Karesh, my studying nook here, and a replica of the Dark Heart because, if we want to understand it, we got to study it. We cannot be afraid of it. So we are doing some extractions of energy here. Stuff are happening. Please don't tell, I don't know, the Blood Elves. They're really pissed. And that's it. That's the whole house for this lucky mage. And let me know in the comments if you liked it. Let me know which idea that I used here it was your favorite, and also if you have any suggestions for future builds. I'm going to experiment in the other horde house with some other aesthetics and some other ideas that I had, and I will post the video here. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.